Hey everyone, welcome back to GL Spinners. I've got another new Spinner Day video for you today. We are taking a look at the Circulator spinner from 2R Designs. So this spinner I just recently got. It does come in a nice tin. It's got 2R's logo and web address on it. And it's also got a sticker that's supposed to signify which version I got, but I guess they ran out of black ones, used a green one, and Sharpied over it, so that kind of made me laugh. But it does have nice foam to keep it safe during shipping, which is what really matters. I actually picked this one up from Spinetics website, but it's also available on 2R's website as well. I chose the black coated stainless steel version, but they also offer it in brass and a plain stainless steel as well. The prices are going to range from $35 to $40 depending on which version you choose. So I do like the size of this spinner. It's a good medium sized spinner. It's going to weigh in at about 72 grams, which is about 2.5 ounces. And from end to end, that outside diameter is going to measure in at about 48 millimeters or 1.9 inches. So where this spinner stands out is in the design. There are no arms on it, it's just one solid frame that's in the shape of a ring or a circle, and that's kind of where it gets its name. But it does lend itself to spinning well. It's smooth and balanced, which is what we expect from metal spinners in this price range. And you can see some of the design elements really stand out when it spins. You can see the outside edge has a cog or gear shaped design, and you've also got 3 cutouts around the center, and when you spin it, everything appears to rotate in different directions. It really gives the spinner a unique look when you spin it. So the machining on this spinner is done very well. Everything's smooth and rounded off nicely. The cogs around the edge aren't sharp, no real hot spots to speak of. The ring surfaces are flat and smooth as well. And the cutouts along the center are shaped kind of like a teardrop that's curved. They're not as smooth and rounded as everything else, but unless you really dig your finger in there, you're not really going to notice it. Like I said, in hand, this thing is a good medium size. One thing about it though, without having any arms on it, I do prefer to kind of pull the spinner as opposed to flicking it. And the reason is because since there's no real finger groove between arms like on a tri-arm spinner, there's not really a good spot to get a nice strong flick for one-handed spins. But that being said, I do this same thing on bar spinners as that's just my preferred method. The buttons are recessed. They've got a raised edge along the outside. They're not as large as I prefer, but they still give it a nice grip. They have a power button engraved on each side, and to be honest, I'm not really sure where that design came from, but it looks fine, and honestly it kind of reminds me of the Mac or the old Xbox power buttons. The buttons are threaded, and underneath you can see they house an R188 bearing with our threaded bearing lock. This is my preferred bearing system. I'll never complain about seeing this. So one thing I do want to point out is that mine had an issue out of the box. I try to be honest in all my videos, and I wanted to point it out. I did have to replace the bearing in this spinner. When I first took it apart, the female button would not come out by hand. What I think it was is actually the post for the female button is a little bit thicker than on some of the other buttons. And it was probably a combination of that and the inside diameter of the bearing being a little bit smaller as well. And both of those things caused this button to stick. With that being said, I couldn't actually get it out with my hand. I had to take another set of buttons, take the female end, and push it into the standard set of buttons to actually push this one out. It took some serious force to remove this button. And so, I mean, it is a slight quality control issue. And you can even see, trying to put this button back into the replace bearing, it's still an extremely tight fit. Like I said before, I purchased these spinners myself, so I was able to correct this issue, but it could happen to anyone buying it, so I did want to point it out and be as honest with you guys as I could. So again, looking at the spin on this thing, it is smooth. I did replace the bearing, but when I did, I got a table spin above 6.5 minutes. So that is a really impressive time for $30, $40 spinner. Let's compare it to some similar spinners. To be honest, I don't have any exactly like it, but it is similar in shape and size to the Maelstrom's inner ring. If you actually took the outside of the brass frame outside of the ring on the Maelstrom and removed it, it would be almost the same exact size. So another spinner that's pretty similar is going to be the Mini Triton. Pretty close to it in size and weight. But as always, let me know what you think about it. Do you own one? Did you have any issues? If you've got any questions, put them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you like the video, definitely give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more spinner reviews and content, be sure and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.